Welcome, everybody. It is live exhibition baseball between the Hiroshima Toyo Carp and the Orix Buffaloes, as we are going to be bringing this to you here tonight. And we're working on our exhibition season. It is the top of the first inning, and Shogo Akiyama is in the hole at no balls and 2 strikes to Adai Yamashita. We will give you the full lineups and everything here in just a couple of moments. There's a fastball swung on. This is driven into shallow center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to be a leadoff single for Akiyama. So Yamashita gets the hitter behind in the count at 0-2, and then he aligns a single into center field for a base hit. And the Carp have something going here now in the top of the first inning. It is Akiyama who leads it off for the Carp. He is now going to be followed by Takeuchi Noma, who gets the nod in right field. He'll be followed by Ryan McBroom, the first baseman tonight, as Akiyama establishes his lead over at first base. Yamashita, the right-hander, gets his sign from Tomoya Mori as he looks in and holds at the belt. He checks the runner at first, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The Carp are the visitors tonight. They're wearing their red uniforms, and it's a very difficult top to read because the name Hiroshima across the chest is also in red, but it's got a black outline. It's definitely not made for the television or for that type of viewing. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. And that is taken for a called strike. And the count is now 0-2. Our friend Molly World Swish is in the house and says, "Do you know where I can watch NPB?" So hang tight as we will give you some information here. And in a couple of moments, as we are not going to disrupt the continuity of the stream, but we can help you out on where to go and look. So here comes the right-hander who has come to the set position. He gets the sign from Mori, and now he throws over to first, and diving back safely is Akiyama. So no balls and 2 strikes to, check that, 1 ball and 1 strike to Noma as he bats here in the top of the first inning. It's a different look behind the plate as Tomoya Mori was acquired in a trade in the offseason by the Buffaloes, and he is getting the nod behind the plate tonight. One of the imports, Marwin Gonzalez, is in the lineup, and we'll get you that in a moment defensively as a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2 to Noma. Defensively for the Buffaloes in the outfield from left to right this evening, it'll be Shuhei Fukuda in left. The center fielder is Kai Nakagawa, and in right field, it is Tomoya Noguchi. From first to third, around the infield, it'll be Gonzalez at first. The Ryo Oda is at second. The shortstop tonight is Kitaro Kobayashi, and it is Yuma Mune at third base. As the hander holds set, and he checks the sign, and now he delivers. It's a split figure pitch swung on, and it's tap foul right behind home plate. Noma does a good job of staying alive. So our friend Molly World Swish asks where they can watch the NPB. I guess the first now would be updated feeds of that, as they have made an announcement. There's, I guess, some new laws that have come out in Europe, and I would expect that some of the other countries may start to try to follow suit. There's a split figure pitch swung on. It is tapped softly over to second. It is fielded on the run by the second baseman Oda, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Noma on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to advance Akiyama over to second. Well, a couple of years ago in the United States, they used to have it where it was offered on DAZN. And DAZN was carrying it a couple of years ago, and that was something you could pick up. And if you don't pick up DAZN, one way you can try to do it is to go to Live QQ. You have to Google it. We're not going to do it for you, but Live QQ, and you have to do a little bit of a search, and you'll be able to find it. A lot of the stuff is in Chinese script. As Ryan McBroom steps to the plate, the right-handed hitting first baseman takes the first pitch breaking ball down and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to McBroom. McBroom in his second season with the Carp, he batted .272 last year, hitting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Yamashita. Runner at second is Akiyama. There is one away, and there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to McBroom. So what do we expect to see? Well, in the years past in the exhibition season, we expect to see probably the starters for a good 5 or 6 innings before the manager starts emptying the bench. However, with that being said, we are in the middle of March, and so some of the roster sizes are starting to become a little bit smaller, and there's not as many players. So maybe we will see an extended look of maybe 5 or 6 innings, maybe 7 from the starters. There's a fastball swung through and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2 on McBroom. Yamashita getting the start tonight for the Buffaloes. As he gets the baseball, he rubs it up. This game is actually being played at a different stadium. Normally the home ground for the Orix Buffaloes is the Osaka Dome, as he checks his runner at second base, holds at the belt, and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul down the right field line, and is going to reach the seats. It's a bit of a sparse crowd here today, and this game is being played at the Osaka City Shinkin Bank Stadium. It's an outdoor stadium. It is the all-dirt infield, and so certainly that may consider, maybe it would favor the Carp, because that is something that they sometimes will play on when they go to the stadium at the Hotomoto, not the Hotomoto field, but the field in Kobe. So the Carp here are waiting. There's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called third strike. McBroom stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it drop in for strike number 3, and he is gone here for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up Ryoma Nishikawa to the plate with 2 gone, and Shogo Akiyama at second base. So Yamashita off to a pretty good start, really pounding the zone tonight with strikes. He's thrown 13 pitches, and only 2 of them have been balls. It was the mistake to Akiyama at 0-2. He left the fastball out over the plate a little too much, and Akiyama was able to punish him and make him pay for a single into center for the beginning of the ball game. But he is settled down here as he checks the runner. And now he delivers. It's a fastball that's in the dirt. It is blocked by Mori, but it squirts away. And it is a good read by the runner Akiyama as he has advanced to third on the wild pitch. So a ball in the dirt. Akiyama goes to third on the wild pitch. Mori did a decent job to keep it in front. But a good read and a good jump by the base runner Akiyama. So as we said, today's game is in an outdoor venue, which is a little bit different for the Buffaloes. As they hold at the belt and they kick and deliver, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryoma Nishikawa. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Matt Davison. So the right-hander holds, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung through and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. Buffaloes are in their home whites, defending NPB champions as they won the Japan Series last year, taking out the Tokyo's Yakult Swallows. As here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded up the middle, and it's going to get through for a base hit past the glove of the second baseman, Oda. It's going to be an RBI single for Nishikawa. So the Carp are on the board with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning, as Akiyama has scored the first run of the ball game, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Matt Davison. Good piece of hitting there by Nishikawa. It's, as we say, it was pretty good. We watched the replay. It was right on time with the pitch. Hit that ball right past the glove of the second baseman, Oda, and he is aboard with an RBI single. So this is our first look at Matt Davison over in the NPB. Davison has bounced around a little bit through Major League Baseball. He spent time with the White Sox and with the Arizona Diamondback organization as he takes a fastball up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. He's a big fella as the 31-year-old Davison hits from the right side. 4 for 21 in the exhibition season so far, with no homers and 1 run batted in. As he waggles the bat, the right-hander Yamashita holds at the belt and delivers a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. For those of you who do listen on delay or when you pop back in a little bit later, we are going to be calling the rest of the World Baseball Classic beginning tomorrow night with the USA and Venezuela. That'll go off at 7 Eastern or 4 Pacific. So hopefully you can make it in for all the action on that. Here's the pitch from Yamashita. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. You are getting old style school radio feed. That's what we've been doing the last couple of years. We are going to make some additions to it in the next little bit. And we're going to make a few changes, but ultimately we're trying to give you the old school feel. So here it is, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul behind the plate. It's going to reach the seats, and it's going to run the count even to 2-2 on Davison. This time of the year, the Japanese managers will start extending their pitchers. I would expect we could see the right-hander Yamashita to go 5 innings tonight, assuming he is within his pitch counts. But one would have to think that we would see probably 80 to 90 pitches tonight out of the starter if that's what they can get. So the right-hander works to the set position, gets the sign from Mori, and here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now runs full to Davidson. So Nishikawa will be on the move here with 2 on in the first inning. Right-hander gets onto the rubber, gets his signs from Mori, and he works set to the belt. He checks the runner over at first, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. Davison has gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, but there's been damage here in the top of the first as the Carp get on the board. They had 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning in Osaka. It is the Hiroshima Carp 1, the Orix Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with the call at the bottom of the first inning. We hope you are enjoying this one, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to give you the starting lineup for the Orix Buffaloes as they're going to be facing Hiroki Takota, the left-hander for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Leading off and playing second base, number 31, Ryo Oda. Hitting second and playing at third is number 6, Yuma Mune. Batting third in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Yataro Sugimoto. Batting fifth and doing the catching is Tomoya Mori. Batting sixth at first base is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. Batting seventh in right field is number 9, Tomoya Noguchi. Hitting eighth at shortstop is Kataro Kirbayashi, and the 9-hitter is Shuhei Fukuda. He is in left field. And the first pitch of the ball game in the bottom here of the first is delivered. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving over toward the line is the right fielder, Noma. And he's going to make the catch. So 1 pitch and 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Defensively for the Carp tonight, we'll start the outfield from left to right as we move across your YouTube viewing dial, and that will be Ryoma Nishikawa in left. The center fielder is Shogo Akiyama, and the right fielder is Takeyoshi Noma. And now is Yuma Mune steps in, waiting on the offering here from Takota. It's a fastball that misses up and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Defensively in the infield around the horn from first to third, it's Ryan McBroom at first. The second baseman tonight is Yuya Nirasawa. The shortstop is Kaito Kozono, and the third baseman is Matt Davison. course, the battery is Hiroki Takota, and the catcher is Tsubasa Aizawa. As the left-hander rocks into the motion, he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And that count now, I've got it at 1-1 to Mune. They've got it flashing 2-1, so I don't know if I'm in preseason form or if they're in preseason form. I'll have to check to see as it is here. So it looks like it's 2 balls and 1 strike. We must have missed something on the replay. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 3-1. That's what they tell us. A little different camera angles. As we said, this game is being played at the Osaka City Shinkin Stadium. There's a fastball swung on. The bat has been broken, but it's going to ground through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Mune was sawed off, and he's got himself a seeing eye single with 1 gone here in the first inning. So a base hit to right field. As we get the replay of that, all that was left in his hands was the handle. The rest of the bat went flying over towards the right side of the infield, just past the pitcher. He was able to fight it off and stay strong enough to get the hit, did Mune. That is going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. There are other games going on in the NPB tonight as they are moving across the dial. Some of the games are later starts. Some of the games are already underway. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside to Nakagawa for ball 1. It is a little different looking lineup with Masataki Yoshida no longer in the Buffalo lineup. But the addition of Tomoya Mori and, of course, Frank Schwindel and Marwin Gonzalez has helped the champions flex their muscles a little bit. So we'll see if they even miss a beat after losing their star left fielder. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Mune was on the move. It's going to run the count to 1-1. As we quickly look around the out-of-town scoreboard, other games in the first inning, it is the Hanshin Tigers have a 2-0 lead over the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. That game's at the Jinju Stadium. And in the bottom of the first inning, it is the Saitama Cebu Lions leading the Chibolote Marines 1-0. So scoring all around the league right now in the first inning. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's chopped back to the pitcher. It is fielded awkwardly by the pitcher, Takota. He turns and he throws to first, and that's going to retire Nakagawa as Mune is going to advance over to second. So that goes as a ground out 1-3 in the books for out number 2. That'll bring up Yataro Sugimoto to the plate with 2 gone here in the first inning. Later starts tonight, which will go at 6 o'clock Japan time, will be the Chinichi Dragons square off against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks will play the Yokohama Dina Bay Stars. Both those games will go at 6 o'clock Japan time, or if you're in North America, 2 o'clock Pacific or 5 Eastern. The first pitch fastball to Sugimoto backs him off the plate for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Sugimoto has been very strong, 5 for 9 in the exhibition season so far. He'll be a big part of the lineup. He had a bit of an off season last year, had a sort of a breakout year in the 2021 campaign. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops to called strike, and the count is 1-1. Big fellow was playing mostly in right field last year, or designated hitter, but we did see him grab an infielder's glove a couple of times. Mostly in a right field. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty Takota, who checks the runner at second. Checks Mune again. He delivers. It's a fastball swung on and it's fouled straight back. Runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 to Sugimoto. As we mentioned, tomorrow we'll be back on the airwaves again as we do the U.S. and Venezuela. So we look forward to giving you the call of that one where we can. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. So Sugimoto waits, and there is a fastball that misses down. The count now is 2-2. I remember last year when we were watching the games, and one of the things that stood out was just the lack of ability by some of the pitchers to finish the hitters. You get a couple of quick outs, or you get the outs, but they just can't seem to have that little extra to put them away. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2 to Sugimoto. The catcher, Tomoya Mori, waits his turn on deck. Should Sugimoto be able to reach here? The first base is open. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner, Mooney, establishes his lead at second base. As the lefty holds at the belt, he checks the runner at second. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Sugimoto has earned himself a 2-out walk. And that is going to put runners at first and second. With 2 gone, it'll bring the catcher Moyamori to the plate. For the Carp last year, they played very well, actually probably above their predicted abilities. They were right into the playoff hunt in the Central League for much of the year. It wasn't really until about the last 3 weeks of the season that they started to fade away. But they had battled and probably played above their means. So we'll see what their expectation. They do have some decent pitching to the Carp. And here's the first offering to Mori. It's a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Tomoya Mori. As Mori is waggling the bat, and now he rests it on his shoulder, and now he's waiting on the offering here from Dakota. This will be the 17th pitch of the inning for the lefty as he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle, and it's going to get through into center field, face hit. Mooney rounds third, and he's going to come home easily. Stopping at second will be Sugimoto, and this game is all knotted up at 1 run apiece on the RBI single by Tomoya Mori. So definitely offense has shown its head here in this one as both teams have got themselves a run in the first inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Curious to see how Gonzalez will fit in the Japanese league. Sometimes the North American players come over and they struggle to have success. And they're gone fairly quick, although the Chibolote Marines had a good run with Brandon Laird and even Leonis Martin stuck around for a few years and were able to give them some quality time as there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez began his career with the Houston Astros. He also spent time in the Yankees, Red Sox, and Twins organizations at the big league level. He's off to a rough start here in the exhibition season, 3 for 21. As he waits here on the offering from the lefty, and he is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. As we mentioned before, we are calling these games here on a regular basis, and so hopefully you folks can come on in and watch it. So that'll be the case. Our friend Molly World Swish was asking where we can watch the NPB, as there is a fastball swung on and is grounded down the third base line, and it is going to be 1-2. A lot of people, what they'll do is they pick up the feed and then they sync our commentary to it, wanting to listen to the live commentary. Gonzalez is in the hole at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 21st pitch of the inning coming up here for Dakota, as the lefty is trying to wiggle himself out of this situation. Runners are at first and second with 2 gone as the lefty works set at the belt. He checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez taps the bat as he looks ready to get the offering here from Dakota. And now Dakota steps off the mound. We're going to do this all over again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marwin Gonzalez. Dakota kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line. Fairly sparse crowd in attendance here for this one. Not a lot of people in the attendance here today. If you get a chance to check out the channel, we aren't going to be in Japan this year, so we'll be giving some live updates and be checking on some different things through the month of August and September. So hopefully you guys can check out our feeds and some of our daily stuff. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of that type of stuff. And there is a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Gonzalez stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3, and he is gone here in the first inning. Well, the Buffaloes get that run back. They had 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 1 complete. It is the Hiroshima Carp 1, the Orix Buffaloes 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call. Our friend Ryan Doherty has popped in here to say hello, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Carp 1, Buffaloes 1 as we move to the top of the second. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be cruising to the top half of the second inning. It'll be Kazono, Aizawa, and Nirasawa to come to bat. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. Welcome back, everybody. As we move to the second inning, it'll be Kazono, Aizawa, and Nirasawa to face the right-hander Yamashita as we begin the top half of the second inning. And the first pitch is a fastball swung through and missed for strike 1, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Orion says Carp and Buffaloes 1-1 top of the second. And that's exactly what it is. There's a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kaizano. The right-hander Yamashita working quickly as he kicks and delivers. There's a split finger pitch that's missed and bounces inside. Nice block there by Mori. It's going to count at 1-2. 23 pitches in the first inning for the right-hander. As he was not the most economical, he really got himself ahead in the count early with the first hitters that he faced. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is going to be 1-2. Our friend Josh says, how long are you going to be in Japan this year? It'll be about 3 weeks, actually. I'm going to be in Japan for most of the journey, and I have to tell you, I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be in South Korea for a day on the way back. I've arranged a layover in Seoul. So that'll be in the middle of August to early September. As there's a fastball swung on, it squirts away from the catcher, and advancing to first base on the strikeout is going to be Kazono. I'll have to take a look at this. I don't know if it was a pass ball or a wild pitch. That ball was in the dirt. Kazono had swung on it. It got by the catcher, Mori. It was a split finger pitch. Pitch went down in the dirt. Actually, it was very lazy defending by Tomoya Mori. He went to backhand the ball. And instead of going to block it, as he went to backhand the ball bounced and it skipped on by him all the way to the backstop. And that is maybe one reason why Tomoya Mori is with the Orix Buffaloes and not with the national team. That was not a very good defensive play. That's going to go down as a strikeout and a wild pitch. I don't know if they're going to charge him with an error either, but we'll see what that would be. And that is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Aizawa. So we're probably going to hit about 10 of the 12 stadiums in Japan. The only 2 that I'm not going to get to are going to be the one between the Fighters and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. I'm not going to go up into the Northeast. I looked at it originally, but the first week we'll spend in Tokyo, and then we'll base up somewhere near Osaka. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted to deep right field, racing over toward the wall, and he's not going to have room as it bounces off the wall is the right fielder Noguchi. And so that is going to be just a long strike for Aizawa, and the count is now 0-2. So yeah, it's going to be kind of neat. So we're going to try to get through and try to get to all the stadiums. I'm going to do a little, I don't want to say a recap, but I'm going to do kind of a little adventure of getting to the stadiums and what people have to do to get there and how they have to move around. So maybe a little bit of a look. I don't have an inside look this time around, as there's a fastball that misses down in the dirt, and it's blocked by Mori. He comes up throwing down to first, and he's got the runner Kazono as he's picked him off. As bad a play as it was, as he backhanded that ball in the dirt, and it went to the backstop. A fantastic play by Tomoya Mori there, flashing the arm to be able to gun down Kazono, and that's going to be a pickoff, or at least he's going to be caught stealing in that spot. Going down as 2-3 on the putout for the first out. A great play there and a good tag by Marwin Gonzalez. And the first pitch now at 0-2 is the breaking ball. Sorry, 1-2 is a breaking ball. After the out to Aizawa is taken for a ball, and the count is now 2-2. Josh says, yeah, pretty sweet looking for the content for the stadiums. Yeah, I've got a few things in mind, as there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Aizawa goes down on strike. So he has gone for out number 2, a second strikeout of the inning, as Kazono had reached base on a strikeout. Yeah, I've got a few ideas, Josh, in terms of the way that I'm going to do it. I was thinking about maybe I was going to do it totally from a fan standpoint, and maybe try to shoot some video on how to get to the stadium from which subways to take, or which transit from different points, as there's a fastball given to Nirasawa taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I think what would be kind of neat too is people will get a chance to see what kind of food is available at the games. I mean, you go to different stadiums across Major League Baseball in the United States, and there's all kinds of stuff that's out there, and you get a chance to pick up different types of food and different types of stuff. And obviously, being able to have different parts of the country offer different things. I know down in San Diego, you can get a seafood burrito. It's the best on the menu. There's a fastball fouled away, and the count is to remain at 0-2 to Nirasawa. Nirasawa will be followed by the pitcher Takota. The Carp tonight have chosen not to use a DH. The game is in the home ground, or at least at the home game for the Buffaloes, but they're going to bat their pitcher tonight. So here's the 0-2 pitch, and is a split finger that misses down. And the count goes to 1-2. Our friend Josh says, I've only been to Seoul once, but I really like the Korean-style fried chicken. Totally different type of spice. Ironically, as Josh has said that, you're absolutely right. I'm looking forward to trying a little bit of food there, obviously, with a 24-hour layover. Looking to get myself some fried chicken. We are very fortunate here in Vancouver that we have a lot of Koreans, as there's a fastball swung on and missed. It's fielded by Mori, as it's blocked by him. He picks it up, he throws to first, and that's going to go down as a strikeout, 2-3 to retire Nirasawa. And that will do it here in the top of the second inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1.5. It is 1-1, and I'll come back in just a couple minutes, and we'll talk about some more food and the NPB and Japan and Korea, as we're going to be doing some stuff up ahead. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be the bottom third of the batting order come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Noguchi, Kobayashi, and Fukuda to face the left-hander Takota here in the second inning. We're talking a little bit about food and a little bit about Korea and Japan. As our friend Josh says, he's been to Seoul one time. I'm going to try to get myself to, obviously, to Seoul in that day that I'm going to be there. And obviously, there's a couple of sites I want to try to see. You get about 10 or 12 hours after I get through my hotel sleep. and be able to go and see a few things. But certainly the Korean fried chicken is something that is pretty cool. Another thing that's been kind of neat that I've really enjoyed out here is the first pitch is delivered to Noguchi. It's a fastball swung away. It was a Korean hot dog. I got a chance when I was in Japan the last time to try a Korean hot dog. And the Korean hot dog is, I guess what you would call it is it's almost like a rice batter on the outside. As a breaking ball misses outside to Noguchi, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the 1-1. It's a breaking missing upstairs. The count is 2-1. And the Korean hot dog, what they'll do is it's almost like a corn dog you would find in the States or in Canada, and it's on a stick. And what they'll do is they'll put sauces on it. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Noguchi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty Takota working from the windup, rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It is another breaking ball. This one is lifted into shallow left field, coming in on it, and it is going to fall in front of the left fielder, Nishikawa. And that is going to be a base hit for Noguchi. You got to wipe the blood off of that one, as it was a bleeder into shallow left field. Dakota is going to be a little upset about that one, because I think he thought he may have had that. But that is a base hit single, as that is going to drop in with the runner at first and nobody gone. It brings up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. As we were talking about food a little bit, certainly Korean hot dogs on the stick, you can get different spices, or they can also put on different stuff on it, where it's sometimes you get potato or ramen noodle or different things that they can add to the outside texture. As the first pitch breaking ball is delivered to Kobayashi, it misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So Kobayashi here, the shortstop, 4 for 14 in the exhibition season with no homers and an RBI. He's hitting .286. Batting from the right side against the left-hander Takota, as he checks the sign from his catcher, and now he throws to first base, and getting back easily is Noguchi. It was one of those excuse me, get me over throws, just to take a look to see what's going on with the runner. So Kobayashi here waiting in. Kobayashi, not known for his bat, as he takes a breaking ball down, and the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. But he did have himself a good Japan series, and he has played well for the Buffaloes. He's a young fella. He's not that old, is Kobayashi. Kobayashi turned 21 years old on February the 7th, and he's already got 3 full seasons, actually 2 full seasons and a part of a third under his belt in the NPB. He was taken out of high school with the 2nd overall pick in the teen draft, so he is their anchor there as he fouls that pitch away. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Kobayashi now. So left-hander against the right-hander, as Takota leans in and he gets his sign from his catcher, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and lifted into the seats down the right field line, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. As we continue that thought on some of the food, not just the Korean hot dogs, but also the fried chicken, as our friend Josh says. Living on the West Coast, there's a lot of Korean restaurants that have propped up in this area of British Columbia. And I think there's a chain. It's like Chico, I think it's called. And they say it's a Korean fried chicken chain. I've never tried it. There's a fastball swung on and missed. As Kobayashi went chasing, that pitch was up and out of the zone, and he couldn't catch up to it, and he is down on strikes. And he is gone for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the Shuhei Fukuda. Our friend Josh says, didn't know about Korean hot dogs. I'll have to find some here in Chicago to give it a try. I think if I was in Chicago, I would be staying away from the Korean hot dogs. I'd be going right to the deep dish pizza. Some great pizza in Chicago for sure. And here comes the first offering. It's a fastball that almost hits Fukuda. He spun away from the plate. I don't know if it caught him or not, but he didn't do a very good sell job to go down to first base. And that pitch is going to be ball 1 to Fukuda. So 1 ball and no strikes. He is 1 for 10 in the exhibition season. Batting from the left side against the left-hander, and there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Yeah, the Korean hot dogs are pretty interesting, and there's a chain. It's a Korean hot dog chain. It's called, I think it's Chungchun Rice Hot Dogs. And the batter is with the rice on the outside and kind of makes it cool. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Shuhei Fukuda. But as I said, sometimes you can get them with beef or chicken. You can get where it's cheese in the middle, the hot dog, whatever it might be, and also pork. So 3 different types of meat. There's a fastball swung on it as chop foul behind home plate, and that's going to run the count to 2-2 on Fukuda. We're waiting for our first 1-2-3 inning here in this ball game. We have not seen that in either case. That was a pitch by Fukuda that he swung away and fouled away. Our friend Josh S. says, deep dish is great. Lou Martani, I have to look at that in a second. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's tapped slowly through the 4-hole, and it's going to get into right field for a base hit. And it looks like we may have a pinch runner over there at first base for Marwin or for Noguchi. No, it is Noguchi. I thought that might have been Rio Adachi or something that looked like he was running, but that is a ball that's going to get into right field for a single for Fukuda. It's going to put runners at first and second with 1 away. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Rio Oda. My 2 favorite deep dish pizzas, well, from a chain standpoint, is Gino's East in Chicago. And then the other one that I like is, my favorite place is Eduardo's. Now, Eduardo's, I think, was more on the north side. Seats maybe about 20 people. I was tipped off to that. It was a fantastic deep dish pizza. I got there, I would say that would have been about June of 2006. So 17 years ago. Can't believe it. That's probably about the last time I've been to Chicago. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Chicago, Illinois, about 5 hours from where I used to live to the west. 5 hours, as the Metro Detroit area is a decent day's drive. Got to see Wrigley Field a couple of times. Here comes the offering from the lefty. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2 to Oda. So no balls and 2 strikes. Just as it's exhibition season for the NPB, so too is it exhibition season for us. We got to work the kinks out. Our last game that we did the game the other night between Canada and the United States in the World Baseball Classic. That was pretty painful, as the Americans had put up 12 runs in the first 2 innings. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike, and Oda stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for the second out of the inning. So the strikeouts have been sandwiched by singles. They got 2 on and 2 out, and it'll bring up the third baseman, Yumamune. Well, for Yumamune tonight, he has got the only run for the Buffaloes. He was singled and came home on a RBI single by Tomoya Mori. Going to have to get used to saying Tomoya Mori and used to seeing him in a Buffaloes uniform. I'm also really kind of curious to see how the ball club inside of the Cebu Lions are going to fare without him behind the plate. Last year, it was a big difference when he was catching versus the others. They could not control the running game. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mune. That was the one noticeable difference. Definitely that. Friend Josh says he's going to have to try Eduardo's. He's adding it to his list. He says he likes Gino's East as well. Not a big fan of Giordano's. I've never tried that or Uno's. I have been to Uno's, and I do not like their pizza as well. I can concur with that. So there's a fastball that's taken upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and strike to Mune. Mune bats from the left side against the left-handed throwing Takota. Waggles the bat. I have to say, I was really impressed with Mune a couple years ago. He just seemed to really battle. And there is a balk. We have a balk as the home plate umpire has issued back to the pitcher, Dakota, and the runners are going to advance. That's going to put Noguchi over to third, and it's going to put Fukuda over to second. So we got runners on second and third. I have to see what that was there. Well, it was really, really strange. He went into the motion to deliver. He didn't throw the pitch, which we saw, but I don't know why he didn't deliver it. It looked like that maybe he thought time had been called or something, or he heard that time had been called. So runners are now at second and third with two gone, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike still to Mune. 43 pitches so far for the lefty Dakota as time has been called now. It looks like it was Lou Malnati's is his favorite. I'm not sure. I can't think of that or where that would be located. I would love to be able to get my way there and give it a try. As there is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Mune, and it's now 2-1. Actually, it's probably not that long since I was actually at a conference. I said I was in a conference in Chicago. I was actually there in 2000, maybe 13 or 14. And it was in the winter, and I was absolutely as sick as a dog. Absolutely terrible. Took the train from Detroit to Chicago as a fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-1 to Mune. There is an open base, but it is Kai Nakagawa who looms on deck. Had to be the worst experience. Took the train ride from Detroit to Chicago. People were hacking and coughing and spitting all over the place. It was a miracle. I didn't even get more sick. Got to Chicago, had the conference, and spent 3 of the 5 days in the conference in bed with a fever and sick. It was terrible. There's a breaking ball. The misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Mune has walked to load the bases. That is going to bring up Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa tonight, he is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. And we are going to get a visit to the mound as the pitching coach is coming out. The full conference here as all the infield is in. I think he's got his tablet under his left hand there as he comes out to the mound. No, it's looks like, or it's his book anyway that he's carrying. So bases are full of Buffaloes. It is Noguchi at third. The runner at second is Fukuda, and Yumamune is the runner at first. There is 2 away here in the bottom half of the second inning, and the Buffaloes are threatening. They left a pair of runners on board in the first inning. They've got 3 on board here. We don't get a lot of looks at the Central League teams through the years, as we normally call most of the Pacific League games. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away. For ball 1, the count is 1-0. Our friend Random is going to give that information. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So it depends on where you're at, random guy. If you are in the United States, they used to carry it on DAZN, and that was a couple of years ago, and so they don't seem to carry that anymore. ABC in Hawaii used to carry some of the games, and there is a fastball taken just below the knees, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Nakagawa. But some of the people that come in to watch it, usually there's a channel called Live QQ. Live QQ, it is, you're going to have to navigate through a bunch of Chinese characters, and you'll be able to pick it up, and all the games will be in Japanese. And so what people do is they'll sync it to our feed, and then they can listen. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to the left center field gap. It's going to get down, and it's going to get up against the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And cruising into second base with a double is Nakagawa, and he's going to clear the bases. And actually, nope, he's going to advance over to third. He's got himself a triple, and that is going to clear the bases. And the score now is 4-1 for the Buffaloes. So triple and 3 RBIs as Noguchi, Fukuda, and Mune all come across to score. And it is now a 4-1 ball game here for the Buffaloes in the bottom half of the second inning. So our friend Random Guy, who was asking those questions, I don't know if he's still here or not, but hopefully that gives you the idea of where you have to look for. You got to do a little bit of Googling. So the first pitch delivered to Yataro Sugimoto is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a call and strike. The count is 0-1. As we said, 5 for 9 with no homers and 2 RBIs in the exhibition season for Sugimoto. A big right-handed hitting designated hitter waiting on the offering, and it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field, moving over as Akiyama, and he's going to make a fantastic shoestring catch on the run as he's moving into right center field. All Sugimoto can do is smile, but Shogo Akiyama flashing the leather that made him one time a great defender in the NPB before he jumped over to Major League Baseball, shows no ill effects of any hamstring issues, makes the catch, and it is going to end the inning there for out number 3. Well, we've got lots of damage in the inning. There were 3 runs by the Buffaloes as they were able to cobble out 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. It is the Buffaloes 4 and the Carp 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming to bat for the Carp here in the 3rd inning. That means it's going to be the pitcher spot in Hiroki Takota. I'll be curious to see if he's going to stay in the ball game. And Shogo Akiyama, then Takayushi Noma. So 9, 1, and 2 to come to bat. What a great play by Akiyama, getting on his horse and getting into right center field to make that grab. That will make the highlight reels for sure across Japan. And so he is going to be hitting second here in the inning. As we watch the stuff here, Akiyama had his opportunity with the Cincinnati Reds, but for him it was cut short. He had some injuries, he had some difficulties, and then he was able to sign back on with the Carp. And so here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball delivered to Takota, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Takota batting for himself here in this one as he swings at a fastball and fouls that away, and the count is 0-2. It really handicaps a team when they have their pitcher batting for the most part, because I know they're trying to get ready for the season. It's an exhibition game here, mind you. One team has taken a hitter out of the lineup, and there is a fastball taken at ease for a called 3rd strike, and Takota goes down looking for out number 1. That is the 5th strikeout in a row recorded by Yamashita. He is on a roll now. That's his 6th of the ball game, 6 of the 7 outs recorded via the strikeout. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Shogo Akiyama. Well, for Akiyama tonight, he is 1 for 1. He singled in his first trip to the plate, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is the right fielder, Noguchi, and that is going to retire Akiyama for the 2nd out of the inning. He took that one for a ride, just couldn't take it far enough. But he is gone for out number 2, and that will bring up right fielder Takayushi Noma. So just a couple programming notes. We will have all the calls on the rest of the World Baseball Classic. Those games will go off at 4 p.m. Pacific time or 7 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow will be USA Venezuela, as we will be on the call for that one. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. And then the rest of our programming notes. And then we're looking at Saturday, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Saturday, it'll be Puerto Rico and Mexico, and then that'll be same time, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. As there's a fastball that is swung on a miss of the split finger variety, and the count goes to 1-2 on Noma. And then on Sunday, we're going to call the game between Cuba, and it'll be the winner of USA Venezuela. Monday will be the winner, or it'll be Japan versus the winner of Puerto Rico Mexico. There's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded softly up the middle. Moving over to his right to field it is the second baseman, Oda. They throw to first, and the umpire says not in time. Well, we're going to have to get a look at that one. He may be right. I had to hurry to get the speedy Noma. Noma was able to beat it out. I don't know if they're going to be doing any replays here in the exhibition season. And when you look at the replay there, hard to tell for us. But that's going to go down as a 2-out single for Noma, and that'll bring up Brian McBroom to the plate. Well, McBroom tonight is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. 0 for 1 on the evening. 5:23 in the exhibition season. The first pitch is a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul behind home plate, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike to McBroom. So as we were giving that programming update on Monday, it'll be Japan versus the winner of Puerto Rico, Mexico. And then Tuesday will be the championship game of the Classic going off at 4 o'clock. So hopefully you can dial in with us. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. With 2 gone here, the runner at first is Noma. It'll be Nishikawa who waits his turn on deck. As the right-hander works to the set position, he checks the runner, and now he delivers. It's a fastball that misses way off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1 on McBroom. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Looking forward to the NPB season, we will call the league-wide opener between the Fighters and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That's in the Pacific League. Of course, it's the new field in Hokkaido, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. Another feature of the channel that we're going to provide this year is we're going to give daily picks. We're going to give you who we think is going to win the games and pitching matchups and a little blurb every day on our community page. And we're going to see how we're going to do. Last year we were trying it a little bit. This year we're going to do an entire season of it. And there is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 3-2. So as some of you may or may not know, the Japanese league plays basically Tuesday through Sunday. Monday is traditionally a day off in the Japanese league. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to McBroom. The runner Noma will be on the move as the right-hander Yamashita is ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. There goes the runner. It's a fastball that misses inside. And that is going to be ball 4 as McBroom has got himself a 2-out walk. Noma is going to advance to second. And now all of a sudden Yamashita can't finish the door after striking out the first hitter and inducing a fly out to right field for the second out of the inning. So Yamashita gets a little visit from his catcher Mori. And that is going to bring up the left-handed hitting Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, Nishikawa has driven in the only run tonight for the Carp, as he had a single in the first inning, knocking home Shogo Akiyama. Bats from the left side, 4 for 19 in the exhibition season with no homers and a couple RBIs. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no ball and 1 strike to Nishikawa. So those will be a few of the things on the channel that we will be looking to add. We're hopefully getting everybody caught up on the daily. All the games, all the happenings around the NPB. Certainly the big news this week was Trevor Bauer signing with the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars. There was a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander Yamashita is working here. Curious to see when Yokohama plays. Maybe trying to get ourselves a Bay Star game, especially when they get Bauer pitching. I'm kind of also curious to see how they're going to use Bauer. They're going to give him the start every 6 days. They're going to give him a start every 4 days, or 5 days, I should say. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. Bauer is a guy who likes to throw, and he likes to throw a lot. It was a 1-year deal worth $4 million. I'm curious to see also if he's going to be gone for the year. I mean, Major League Baseball rescinded his suspension from 2 years to 1, and then no team touched him. If that's not collusion, I don't know what is. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to second, fielded neatly by Oda. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 4-3. And that will do it here in the top of the third for the Carp. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 2.5. It is the Orix Buffaloes 4, the Hiroshima Carp 1. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the call of all the action. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you stopping in. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. It is going to be the catcher, Tomoya Mori, the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez, and the right fielder, Tomoya Noguchi, coming to bat here to face the lefty, Hiroki Takota. So the Mori, Gonzalez, Noguchi here in the third inning. Curious to see exactly how much more action there is going to be for the right-hander, Yamashita. There's a lot of conversation with him down in the dugout. Sometimes that's a sign that they may not be bringing him back out for another inning of work, but not sure in the exhibition season how far the Valishi has. He's thrown 56 pitches as his counterpart Takota is ready to go back to work here. Takota, by his part, 52 pitches in 2 innings. He needs to sort himself out a little bit. And the first pitch to Tomoya Mori is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. As we mentioned, this game here is being played at the Osaka City Shinkin Bank Stadium. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Unlike at the Osaka Dome, the stadium is located at the Mishima Sports Island in the Bay Area, a full-scale baseball facility. It's a one-level type of stadium, as the one pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. There's no upper deck, and really there's not much shade. You're sitting in a bowl. Most of the seating goes from almost all the way down the left field line to almost all the way down the right field line. It's like a horseshoe. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Mori is retired for the first out of the inning. He is gone. That's going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez. So it's kind of a neat-looking stadium. They do play some neutral site games in the Japanese League, and that's during the regular season as well. So I find that to be fascinating that they do that. I think it's great for the game that they can go into some areas where maybe the fans are not regular. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I know the Fighters last year, I think they played the Hawks, had a neutral site game, and ended up that the game was called in the 4th or in the 8th inning because of darkness. Didn't have any lights, and I have to take a look at this stadium here. They do have, it looks like they have some lights, but I don't know if it's going to be well enough lit to be able to accommodate anything more than practices. Because sometimes these stanchions where they're positioned and how the balls are, it's sometimes can be difficult to see at night. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as they kick and deliver. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Gonzalez goes down for the second time tonight on strikes. This is the first time swinging. And he is gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to Tomoya Noguchi. Well, this is going to be the first opportunity to see if they're going to be able to retire the side 1-2-3. Neither team has been able to accomplish that feat today. The first 2 outs has been happened a couple times. Actually, it was an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for the pitcher Yamashita in the second inning. So here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Noguchi, and it is a fastball that misses outside. Actually, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Missed that one there. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, is grounded to the right side, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Nirasawa, who throws to first. And we're going to have a 1-2-3 inning on our hands as the Buffaloes go quietly for the first time tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is the Buffaloes 4 and the Carp 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 4th. We return after this. Now we're starting to pick up the pace. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top half of the 4th inning. It'll be Matt Davison, Kaito Kazono, and Tsubasa Aizawa, the scheduled hitters, to come to bat. They are still supposed to be facing Dai Yamashita. We'll see if he is going to be returning for his 4th inning of work. They do have a good crowd following for the Carp today. They are manning the left field foul line. The seating is almost bench seating. There's no backs to these seats. Curious when I go to the games what type of seating I'm going to get. I'd like to sit all around the ballpark, whether it be seating behind home plate, maybe down the left field line. I know there's a couple of stadiums that do have upper decks. I wouldn't mind sitting in the upper deck in some of them, depending upon who's playing and pitching. See the action from different angles. There's a breaking ball that misses up and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0 to Davison. Davison tonight struck out his first time up to end the 1st inning. He's 4 for 22 in the exhibition season. No homers and an RBI. There's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. The count now is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Davison. 56 pitches through the first 3 innings for the young Buffaloes right-hander. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. If you ever get a chance to check out Trevor Bauer's page, Bauer Outage, on YouTube, he's got some interesting stuff. And there's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field, racing back on the warning track. And looking up, and this one is gone. A home run for Davison. That's going to be his first of the exhibition season. A solo shot for big number 95 as he rounds the bases. So he has opened up his account. So now he is a 5 for 23 in the exhibition season, but that's his first home run. So he has cut the lead now in half. It is 4-2 for the Buffaloes, and that will bring up the shortstop Kaito Kazano. So high fives all the way around. Curious to see how Davison's going to perform over in Japan. I remember a couple of years ago when the Hanshin Tigers brought in Justin Bohr. He got off to just a tragic start. The big fella never really could adjust to the breaking stuff and the split finger stuff. So hopefully Davison will be able to make some quick adjustments. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and that's now 2-0 to Kazono. Yumamune comes into the mound to have a word with the young right-hander, and he retreats back to his position. It's one thing you don't see here in the Japanese League. There are no shot clocks around and about. That's unbelievable. There's a fastball taken for a call strike. I never thought I'd see the day Major League Baseball would have shot clocks or pitch clocks in behind the areas. It's going to change some dynamics of the sport. That is for sure. There's a fastball that misses down the dirt, and the count is now 3-1. So Yamashita losing some command of his pitches right now. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is to Kazono. As we mentioned, there are other games going around the NPB tonight. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into He lifted up here in the infield, moving back, and a really strange play as Yuma Mune is going to make the catch. He does it right in front of Kotaro Kobayashi. And that is going to retire Kozono for the first out of the inning. So one away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tsubasa Aizawa. As we said, other scores from around the NPB tonight, all exhibition action going on. It's 5-0 in the bottom of the third. That game is between the Hanshin Tigers and the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. It's 5-0 for the Tigers. The game is being played at the Jinju Stadium. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 1-1 to Aizawa. Aizawa 0 for 1 tonight, struck out his first time up. That's from the right side against the right-handed throwing Yamashita, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, tapped slowly foul over on the third base side, and the count now goes to 0-2. At the Zozo Marine Stadium in Chiba, it is 2-1 for the Marines over the Saitama Cebu Lions. And those are the only other two games that are going on. Late starts tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific time, or Japan time, will be, or 4 a.m. Pacific time. As there's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt. The count is now 1-2. It'll be the Chinichi Dragons and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles that will go from the Bantlan Dome in Nagoya. At the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka, it'll be the Bay Stars and the Hawks. And that goes off again at 6 o'clock Japan time, or 1800 hours. And there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called third strike. And Aizawa is down looking for out number 2 here in the inning. And that'll be all up to the second baseman, Yuya Nirasawa. Our friend Josh says he hopes that Davison can keep his strikeouts down in the NPB. Appreciated his power when he was with the big leagues and the White Sox. Yeah, I remember Davison when he played with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think that was his team that he broke in with. There was a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And he does have juice in the stick. He can run into some balls and hit them a long way. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Batting from the left side is Nirasawa as he waits on the offering here from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, and it's tap foul right into Tomoya Mori. Mori gets up and has to walk around a little bit to shake it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There are 2 away here in the top of the 4th. It is a 1-2 count to the hitter, Nirasawa. The leadoff hitter, Davison, has cut the lead in half. And there's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled back into Mori. So on back-to-back pitches, Tomoya Mori has to wear a ball. That was the fastball of the split finger variety. The hitter swung, and it fouled it off, and right into the chest of Mori. Thank goodness for the protection that he has. He's going to keep the ball at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Buffaloes, defending NPB champions, winning the Japan Series last year. And there is a split finger pitch that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say that Nirasawa didn't go, and the count now goes even at 2-2. When you saw the Buffaloes a couple of years ago, I had never thought, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that they would have been able to get to the Japan Series this quickly, or at least last 2 years. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Nirasawa is down on strikes. He is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And if my books are correct, that would be strikeout number 7 and 8 this inning for the pitcher Yamashita, as he has retired the last 2 here via the strikeout route. So 1 run inning on the home run by Matt Davison. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 3.5 innings as we cruise to the bottom of the 4th. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Hiroshima Carp 2. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top or bottom half of the fourth inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. Kotaro Kobayashi, Shuhei Fukuda, and Ryo Oda to face the left-hander Hiroki Takota, who's on for his fourth inning work. 62 pitches through the 3 innings for the Carp lefty. As we mentioned before, it'll be interesting to see how long they'll roll their starters for. We are on March the 16th today in North America, 17th in Japan. So 2 weeks away from the start of the NPB season. And it, by all accounts, is going to be where the Carp are doing their deal here. And we'll see how this is going to all shape up in just a bit. But the Carp here, the lefty rocks into the motion and he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kotaro Kobayashi. 4 for 15 in the exhibition season for the right-handed hitting shortstop as he takes a breaking ball down for 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Looking forward to the regular season. This is almost like my version of the open mic, because there's a fastball that misses and the count is now 3-0. If you can't practice somewhere, where else can you practice? As we get ready for our NPB schedule, that will be a full one this year. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the lefty rocks into the motion and delivers. And there is a fastball swung on and is fouled away right into the feet of Kobayashi as he is going to walk around a little bit. That was a really long swing. He fouled that. Actually, he wears a shin guard on the left leg. It was on the inside of the left leg is where he fouled that pitch. So that's going to leave a mark for sure. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kobayashi struck out his last time up on a high fastball up and away. And here comes the offering from the lefty, Dakota. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle. It is fielded by the shortstop moving to his left. As it is played by Kazono, he throws to first, and that is going to retire Kobayashi. It's going to go down as a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1, and that will bring up the 9-hole hitter in Shuhei Fukuda. Well, Fukuda is 1 for 1 tonight. He scored the run his time up as he singled and was driven home by the bases clearing triple by Kai Nakagawa. The big blow in this game was a 3-run triple in the second inning with 2 out. Has put the Buffaloes ahead, and since then the Carp have scored a run to cut the lead to 4-2. The first pitch was a fastball to Fukuda up high for ball 1. And then Takota comes back with a fastball in the inside corner to make it 1-1. They do not waste time here. Here comes the offering again. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is fouled away right at home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. The Japanese pitchers, some of the pitchers just work in hyperdrive. They don't need a pitch clock. They've got their own pitch clock. It's working quickly. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. The lefty kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly over to first. Fielded neatly by McBroom, who steps on the bag and is going to retire the batter Fukuda. So that's going to go as a ground out to 3 for out number 2, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Ryo Oda. So Oda tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out looking and flown out to right field. Bats from the right side. 2 for 15 in the exhibition season for a 133 average. He takes a breaking ball down and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is taken on a couple of hops by the second baseman Nirasawa. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Oda. And that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning back-to-back for Dakota after he had struggled a little bit here to begin the ball game. So there were no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. It is the Hiroshima Toyo Carp trailing the Orix Buffaloes 4-2. Stick around, everybody. We will be right back in just a couple moments. Top of the 5th coming up here after this. Glad you guys can make it in. Whether you do listen live or on delay, we always appreciate everybody for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the fifth inning. Scheduled to come to bat is the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. That means the pitcher, Hiroki Takoda, is slated to come to bat. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Shogo Akiyama and Takayashi Noma, as they are 9-1-2 in the batting order. Takoda struck out looking his first time up, as he will be on here to face Takoda. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. No balls and one strike. Takoda batting from the left side against the right-hander Yamashita, who drops a breaking ball in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. Yamashita working quickly as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And just as Yamashita works quickly, Takoda is down on strikes for the first out of the inning as he makes quick work of his opposite number for out number one. In our books is strikeout number 9 for Yamashita. That brings Shogo Akiyama to the plate. Akiyama tonight singled and scored a run in the first inning, and he flew out to right field back in the third. He is 1 for 2 tonight. And the pitch is a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Shogo. Akiyama batting on the left side. He swings at a fastball and lifts that one into the seats. And the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. If I had to say who has more fans in the stands based on the color that we're seeing, one would have to think it's got to be the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Lots of red in the seats here in Osaka. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Akiyama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander holds at the belt, and now he kicks and fires. It is a ball that's in the dirt. He checks his swing. The home plate umpire points that he went, and Akiyama is going to be retired. It looks like it's going to be a strikeout 2-3. As we get the replay, they were already jumping the gun. It was a split finger pitch from Yamashita. He went for it. The home plate umpire had made the call. It was a good block by the catcher Mori, but he had to throw him out 2-3 for the second out of the inning, and that is looks like it's gonna do it for the pitcher. That's strikeout number 10, and that Akiyama is retired for out number 2. But we are gonna have ourselves a pitching change. It looks like that is gonna be at 82 pitches in 4 2/3 innings, 1 walk, 10 Ks. And he allowed 4 hits, did the starter. One of them was a allowed home run to Matt Davidson, and that is going to do it for the right-hander here. We have a pitching change, so stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Our friend Troy is in the house, and we welcome him. Hang tight, Troy. We'll be back in just a couple here. We got ourselves a pitching change. We'll get you all updated. Welcome back to the stream. Pleasure to have you here with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, guys. While the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports. You know another Hollis build, check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher, so after the game, check out some other videos by Freddy. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game, peace out, and cheers!
Thanks again to our friend Steve Rademacher. We always appreciate Steve and his sense of humor. And we do have a pitching change. It is going to be Hitomi Honda who is coming into the ball game. Honda had himself a pretty good Japan series last year, so the right-hander is coming in to replace the starter, Dai Yamashita. So he comes in with 2 gone here in the 5th inning. So Honda in the ball game. So he is going to be facing the left-handed hitting Noma. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is quickly 1-0. So Honda on in relief. As we said, curious to see exactly how they're going to engineer this year. Here comes the offering. It's 1-0, and it's a fastball that misses well off the outside corner. So the count is now 2-0 to Noma. So 2 balls and no strikes. As our friend Troy is in the house, it's glad to have you with us. Just as a few reminders, we're going to be back on the airwaves every day for the next few days as we're going to be doing the World Baseball Classic, all the excitement in the quarterfinals. As the fastball misses down and the count is 3-0. USA, Venezuela tomorrow night. Puerto Rico, Mexico on Saturday. Sunday it'll be the winner of the U.S. game that'll go head-to-head against Cuba. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strikes to Noma. And then, of course, we have on Monday, it'll be Japan will play the winner of Mexico, Puerto Rico. It all paves its way for a potential exciting final. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is ball 4, and that's going to put Noma on with a walk. So the right-hander Honda comes in and walks the first batter he faces, and that's going to bring Ryan McBroom to the plate. For McBroom, he is 0 for 1 tonight officially. He struck out looking his first time up. He walked his last plate appearance, and it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Noma. To get the numbers here, number 59 into the ball game. So let's see what number 59 is on our hit list, if we can find that. Looks like we have ourselves a outfielder. I find it fascinating in the statistics. They tell you who's come into the ball game, and when they look at the translation, sometimes it gives you a literal translation, not the player's name, as the fastball misses inside. So the literal Japanese translation, the guy who is running at first base is large ear. That is the Japanese translation. So I'll have to get you to tell you exactly who it is. There's a fastball swung on it, is taken off a 1 hop by Kobayashi. He knocks it down, but he's not going to maybe be able to make a play anywhere. Ryan McBroom is going to get himself a single. That was a well-struck ball. Noma is going to stop at second. He had to go into his right into the 6 hole, did Kobayashi, and the ball bounced up, and he's able to get it and knock it down. And then as he knocks it down, he keeps it in front, but he wasn't able to come up with it to make a play. As the ball just squirted away from him a little bit, just to get to the ball was a nice play by the shortstop. That brings up Ryoma Nishikawa, and we got ourselves a bit of a storm going on here with 2 out. With Noma, the runner at second, and McBroom, the runner at first. Everything has started to come apart since the pitch change, since Honda has come into the ball game. So runners at first and second with 2 away. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball, a good stop and block by the catcher Tomoya Mori. But it's going to be ball 1 to Nishikawa. Nishikawa is 1 for 2 today. He's driven in 1 of the 2 Carp runs. So as we mentioned before, we are going to give you all the action in the World Baseball Classic over the next couple of days. So hopefully you can join us for some of that. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nishikawa, who bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Honda. 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Nishikawa. As the right-hander holds set, he checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check that, 2 balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Just as the players are in exhibition form, so are we. Troy says he hates to see that Edwin Diaz go out injured while celebrating. Very unlucky. It was a very strange incident. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home and scoring the 3rd run of the ballgame will be Noma, as he slides in safely. Another RBI single for Nishikawa as they have cut the lead to 4-3. And so Noma is going to score. I had a buddy of mine I know from a long time ago is Chris Graham. Chris was the umpire on that game last night between the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans. And I shot him a text after the game was done, and I said, "Man, what happened?" And all he said right off the hop was, he says he's going to be done for the year. And you could tell that right out of the gate that was not something. At first, I thought it was ACL, the way that they were jumping around, but it really wasn't holding his knee. And so the next thought was maybe Achilles tendon, but he wasn't grasping for his calf or his Achilles. But I guess they announced today he tore his patella tendon, so that's about 8 months. So if it's the patella tendon, that's unlucky for him. And as Troy says, lucky for him, he already signed that contract. Yeah, Edwin Diaz, probably the best closer in the game. Got a chance to watch him play in Seattle quite a bit before he was dealt. And he was really, really, really fun to watch in Seattle. As there's a breaking ball, misses upstairs to Matt Davison for ball one. Davison is 1 for 2 tonight. He homered last time up. He struck out back in the first inning, but he's got runners here at first and second with 2 gone. He's looking to turn the tables here for the Carp against the young right-hander Honda. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, really unfortunate situation for Edwin Diaz to, you look at it and you say, this is you got to start to wonder how cursed the Mets are. The Mets are an organization you think, boy, they're finally spending some money. They're poised to be able to do some damage. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-0. So this has been a sideways disaster since the first 2 outs of the inning. Yamashita struck out the first 2 batters he faced. They went to the bullpen to bring in Honda. Honda is allowed a walk, a single, and now he's 3-0 to Davison. So runners are at first and second, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low, and Davison has got himself a walk. That's ball 4. It's going to load the bases. We're now full of Carp. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out. Oh, check that. What we have here, it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Davison over at first base. As we mentioned before, it's the numbers are very difficult to read. The Carp are wearing a red jersey, and the name Hiroshima is in red across, and the numbers are all in red. So I don't know what the significance of that is, other than if you're having to look to see what it is, it's a complete pain in the backside. So we do have a pinch runner, and the pinch runner looks like it's going to be Kazuki Tanaka. So Tanaka is going to be running for Davison. Completely strange. So the bases are loaded. There's 2 gone here. Honda's got himself in a jam, and here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low to Kazono. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend EJ says, so it's 2 outs or no outs. There's 2 outs here. Bases are full. The first 2 batters were retired by the starter Yamashita. He struck out the first 2 he faced. He left the game with 10 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. And since going to the bullpen here to Honda has yet to retire a batter he's faced. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted in shallow left center field, racing over to his right, and making the catch is the center fielder Nakagawa, and that is going to do it here in the 5th inning. Well, they loaded the bases, and they were able to get 1, but they couldn't get any more, as that will be the 3rd out of the inning. There was 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left aboard. That's 6 now in 5 innings by the Carp that have been left on base. We are now through 4.5 innings. It is the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Hiroshima Carp 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning when we return. Looks like we're going to have a few changes here as the manager is coming out to give that information to the home plate umpire. We'll be back and sort it all out for you in just a few. Welcome back, everybody, and it is our friend EJ1 that has joined us here. He's asked a couple of questions, so I'll go back for you. With 2 out, they brought Honda into pitch. Just a summary of that last half inning. Noma got on with a walk, and then Ryan McBroom singled, and that put runners to first and second. Then Nishikawa singled and knocked home Noma. That put runners still at first and second. So McBroom had moved to second. Nishikawa was the runner at first. And then there was a walk to Matt Davison to load the bases. And then Kaino Kazono flew out to center field the end of the inning. So the run was scored on an RBI single by Nishikawa. And that was how the Carp got 1 run back. So hopefully that answers all of your questions. So the bases were loaded and they stranded up that way. So that's going to bring Yuma Mune to the plate. Well, Mune is officially 1 for 1 tonight. He had singled in the first and scored a run, and walked and scored a run in the second. So Mune is coming to bat here, and it is still the left-hander Takota on the hill for the Carp, as he is going to begin inning number 5. So left-hander against the left-hander. He delivers a fastball, ticket for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Mune. Yuma Mune had himself a fine season last year. Maybe not as good as it was the year before, as there's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. He was an all-star. But I really like the way that Mune plays, and it seems like they have the confidence in him at third base. Last season, Mune batted .271. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, he checks his swing. They appeal down to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Runs the count to 1-2. A little bit more pop in the stick in the year before in the 21 season. He hit 9 homers there. He only hit 5 last year, but pretty much the numbers were very, very similar. He had batted .272 in the 21 campaign. So there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. .271 last year, had a similar number at bats, played in about 9 less games. But he is a productive player. He sits in at the 2-hole spot of the batting order. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-2. Mune, Nakagawa, and Sugimoto here slated to face the left-hander in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And here comes the 2-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Mune goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. He is 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Kai Nakagawa. Well, after a rocky first couple innings, you got to tip your hat to the starter here, as the starter Takota has been very, very effective. That is 8 in a row he has now retired since giving up the bases clearing triple to Kai Nakagawa back in the 2nd inning, and that's who he is about to face right now. Nakagawa has a triple and 3 RBIs, and he is also grounded back to the pitcher, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a ball, and it is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right center field, drifting over to his right and making the grab. And I'd like to say it would be Akiyama, but I think Akiyama may be out of the ballgame. We'll have to get those updates for you in a minute. Nakagawa is retired for out number 2, so 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it all up to Yataro Sugimoto. And this will be the time of the game where the substitutions will be coming fast and furious for both teams. So we're going to have to try to keep you abreast of who that would be and where we're at. And first pitch delivered to Sugimoto is taken for a strike, and it is 0-1. Sugimoto 5 for 10 in the exhibition season now. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses low. So the new center fielder is Minoru Omori, and that's the one that we were talking about earlier. The literal English translation, or at least what they flashed through the NPB site, is large ear. As a breaking ball misses upstairs, the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Sugimoto. So he is the new center fielder, and as we say, we're going to have to get you the updates as the players come to bat here, as the substitutions are coming in fast and furious. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count's 2-2. Or at least I should say the Carp substitutions are. We're yet to see anything in the Buffalo lineup. We sometimes see that the home team will keep their starters in a little bit longer for the home side, whereas the visiting team will run their group out. And there's another fastball swung on, fouled straight back. And the count remains at 2-2 to Sugimoto. He's right on the pitch. That's pitch number 87 by the left-hander here. We got to be thinking that they're probably going to be making a move into the bullpen here sooner than later, as his time is probably going to be coming close to an end. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. It is a bit of an overcast day, and you can see that the players, they've got their sleeves on. The umpires have got their jackets on. It's a little bit brisk. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Sugimoto stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3, and that will do it here in the 5th inning for the Orix Buffaloes. We're halfway through this one, just a little over halfway through this one. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 5 complete. It is a 4-3 ball game, as we will be moving to the top of the 6th inning. Stay with us, everybody. We're glad you could be here tonight. And hopefully we're a couple of weeks away from opening day. We're excited to bring you that one as well. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We do have some wholesale changes that are in effect, and as we said, we're going to try to get those for you for when they do come to bat. Hitting in the spot in the batting order where Shogo Akiyama was, it'll be Shinsuke Tamura, as he is going to be taking over. They do have the extended break in between the 5th and the 6th inning, so we have Shinsuke Tamura, and we'll catch up on our updates. As far as where the hitters are, we said the fella that is now playing in center field, and it's, as we said before, it's interesting, Minoru Omori. Minoru Omori, in the literal English translation, they call him large ear, so he has taken over. He's batting in the 2-hole, but he is in center field. So where that is going to be, so that is going to be Omori in the 2 spot in the batting order. And then you have Ryan McBroom, who got the start at first base. He's been replaced by Shota Dobiashi. So Shota Dobiashi had a really good season a couple of years ago. He's been a long-time Carp player, but probably his best-known claim to fame is he married a media personality. And that is where Dobiashi is. He is now hitting in the 3-hole spot. He had a fantastic year in the 2020 season where he hit .279 and had 14 homers and 58 runs batted in. It was basically a career year for him since his rookie year. His rookie year, he hit 14 homers and never saw anything after that like that since. Had a fantastic year, followed it up with a real whimper in 2021, only hit 190. And last year he hit .243 and rebounded with 8 home runs and 28 RBIs. So he is going to be in the 3-hole. Other changes, as we said, we'll have to pick them up for you. The left fielder is now going to be Sakani Noboru, as he will go in and take over for Nishikawa. And he will bat in the cleanup spot. So Sakani Noboru will take over in left field. Then the third baseman who began the ball game was Matt Davison. And he has been replaced by Tanaka. That's Kasuki Tanaka. Who will take over and play third for Matt Davison. Well, we're ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments as Tomoya Mori has come back out. They're still working on the area around home plate. As we said, yet to make any changes to speak of are the Buffaloes, as they are the home team and they're keeping their fans entertained. So we'll hang tight. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. We'll give you all the action in just a couple moments. We'll look to see if we got any more changes for you. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change on the mound. It is going to be the right-hander Jarrell Cotton who is taking over. I'm excited to see what Cotton is all about. Once upon a time, he was a highly regarded prospect with the Oakland Athletics. So he is going to be on the mound. They do have changes at third and center and in right. So we'll have to catch those as they come along. And, of course, Cotton on the mound. He's not a big guy. He's a 5'11", 200-pounder. He was born in St. in the Virgin Islands, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0 to the catcher Aizawa. So the right-hander rocking into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded, softly destroyed. Fielded by Kirby-Ashi, who throws the first. That's going to retire Aizawa on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. Jarrell Cotton originally had got to the big leagues. He played his college ball at East Carolina. He was with the Oakland Athletics. He was 9-10 in the 2017 season, where he started 24 games, had a fluffed up ERA at 5.58. Then he missed 3 years at the big league level, 18, 19, and 20. He came back with the Texas Rangers in 21, pitched out of their bullpen. And then he went to the Minnesota Twins and San Francisco Giants last year. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into deep left field. Drifting back on it and making the grab is the left fielder for the Buffaloes. I'm just taking a look to see if there's a change, but it is still Shuhei Fukuda who is out there. So 2 batters up and 2 batters have been retired, and now it's supposed to be the pitch slot of Dakota. One would think we're going to see a pinch hitter in this spot. So Jarrell Cotton has done his job so far, 3 pitches and 2 outs. Now we do have a pinch hitter coming to bat here for the Hiroshima Carp, as the pitcher Dakota's day is now done. This is number 31. This is Shogo Sakakura. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So Shogo Sakakura into pinch hit. And there is a fastball delivered, and it's swung on and grounded foul down the third baseline, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sakakura. Cotton rocking into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Fielded neatly. They throw to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to go as a ground out 5-3 for out number 3, and that will do it here on the top of the 6th inning for the Carp. So Jarrell Carlton, in our first look at him in a Orix Buffaloes uniform, comes in and does his job quite easily, as it only took him 6 pitches to get the side out here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Hang tight, everybody. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We have, as we said, we got to keep up with the wholesale changes. Scheduled to come to bat is Tomoya Mori, Marwin Gonzalez, and Tomoya Noguchi. We'll have to get you some of those updates. We did have a Jarrell Cotton sighting, and he pitched very well as he was able to take care of the Carp on 6 pitches there in the top of the 6th inning. 6s are all around. So it looks to be Mori, Gonzalez, and Noguchi. We are expected to have a pitching change, obviously, because the starter Takota was pinch hit for by Shogo Sakakura in that last half inning. So now the question will be is who is coming in to replace Takota. By all looks of it, I have a feeling Jarrell Cotton's probably going to be coming back out for another inning of work because that 6 pitches hardly broke a sweat. Very interesting stadium. There is lights here. And as I said, I'm curious. I don't know if the lights here would play if there was a situation where they can have it. We do have the pitching change update now for you. It is going to be number 48, Makoto Adua, in the ball game. So he is taking over for Takota. So we have Makoto Adua. So Adua is the one coming into pitch, and we're ready to get this one back underway. As we said, we'll try to keep you updated on all the changes as we go. And the first pitch delivered to Tomoya Mori is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mori tonight is 1 for 2. He singled and drove a run in the first inning, and he struck out 4 for 12 in the exhibition season as he takes a breaking ball outside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The changes, as we say at this point, are now going to come quickly as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it looks like it is going to be Gonzalez and then Ishioka in the 3 spot as they has replaced Noguchi. So here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Mori. As we just catch up on some of our substitutes. I'm curious to see how the Buffaloes are going to manage themselves here. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as Adua has now made the count full to Mori. Right-hander against the left-hander. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up down the third base line. There looks like it's going to be room. Moving over underneath it is the third baseman. And that is going to be the replacement for Davison Tanaka. And he makes the grab, and that is going to put away Mori for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez tonight, he has struck out twice. He struck out looking his first time up and swinging the last time up. He is now 3 for 15 in the exhibition season, and the first pitch is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Buffalo's first baseman. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses out and away, and the count is 1-1. Another import player that the Buffaloes have signed is Frank Schwindel. He's not in the lineup this evening. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second. It is bobbled by the second baseman who picks it up, and that's Nirasawa who throws to first, and that is going to do it for Gonzalez as he grounds out 4-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the pinch hitter here, Ryota Ishikawa. Or Ishioka, I should say. Ishioka has come in to replace Tomoya Noguchi. Noguchi was 1 for 2 and scored a run in this one. So curious to see how the chemistry and how the team responds. They basically lost 1 player in Masataka Yoshida, did the Buffaloes. There's a fastball swung on, is chopped over the head of the pitcher. It is fielded by the second baseman, but it's not going to be in time to get the speedy Ishioka. He's going to get himself an infield hit on a chopper. A 2-out single, and that will bring up the shortstop Kotaro Kobayashi. I'm starting to say the defending champions may have gotten stronger this year, being the Buffaloes. And when I say that, it's interesting, at least on the offensive side. They lose Yoshida as he signed that big deal with the Boston Red Sox. But on the backfill, they added Frank Schwindel, who was the Chicago Cubs player from a couple of years ago. And now we have a pinch hitter on our hands here. We'll have to get you that in a second. It's a training player. So the always popular number 121. It's a ground ball hit over to third, and it is rolled foul. The count is quickly 0-1. This is Cedeno at the plate. As I say, sometimes you get the training players or the non-contracted players. They got that big, huge number that they're wearing. I've seen a lot of 100 and whatever. I actually saw one in an NPB game last year for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Maybe when I go over to Japan, when I'm there this summer, I want to look for a jersey that's going to be a triple-digit number. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher. It's off the glove of Dua. It is fielded by the shortstop, and they throw to first, and that is going to retire Cedeno. It's going to go down as a ground out, 1-6-3 to end the inning for the third out. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the sixth inning. They got no runs on one hit, no errors, and they strand one. We are now through 6 complete. It is a 4-3 ball game as the Buffaloes have the lead, and we are expecting more changes when we come back. So stick around with us, everybody. Glad you could pop in and listen. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It was Leandro Cedeno who was that last hitter. He is a Venezuelan who is 24 years old. He had spent a number of years in the minor leagues. He was with the St. Louis Cardinals and Arizona Diamondback organizations. And so he is making his foray as a training player. Last year, to talk about him a little bit, in Double-A, he hit .310 in Amarillo with the Diamondbacks. And he was also in Reno. He was in AAA last year. He hit .291. So combined, he had himself 32 homers and 103 runs batted in. But I guess there's nowhere in Arizona where he is going to fit in. And now he finds himself in the midst of the Japanese league and trying to win a spot there. But it may be in a little bit tough. There looks like there is a change as Toya Mori's day appears to be over. So we have a change behind home plate. And as we mentioned, it is going to be a little bit of a chore here to catch up on some of all the names, as we are usually catching up on them as they come to bat. We do have Jarrell Cotton, who is in the ball game on the mound. He is coming back out for his second inning of work. Even in terms of the lineup, there's others that are around. Nishino is in the ball game. You can see a few others here for the Buffaloes as they've now started to empty their bench a bit. And playing first base is Cedeno, so we'll have to catch up on that one as well. So Jarrell Cotton back out for inning number 2 of work, slated to come to bat for the Carp. It's supposed to be the top of the batting order. The first pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track, up against the wall, and this one is gone, a home run, as that is going to leave the yard. And this is Sensuke Tamara, who has homered to tie the ball game here, a leadoff home run in the top of the 7th inning. He'd come in to replace Shogo Akiyama in the leadoff spot, and he has tied the ball game with one swing of the bat. So Jarrell Cotton, 6 pitches to retire the side in the 6th, and the first pitch he delivers here in the 7th, it leaves the yard. We are all knotted up at 4s. So 4-4 is the ball game, and that's going to bring up Minoru Amari to the plate. This is our first look at him tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. Amari is replacing Noma in the lineup, who had a hit, a walk, and has scored a run. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Jarrell Cotton, working from the windup, goes into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is belted into right field. But this ball is going to be playable, as it's going to be the second baseman that moves back underneath it and makes the catch on the run in foul territory. And that is going to be a out number 1 here for the Hiroshima Carp. That'll bring up Shota Dobiashi. Excited to see Dobiashi swing the bat. So a lot of players had come out of their seats to see that home run by Tamura to start the inning. So here we go. Here comes the first offering to Shota Dobiashi. It's from the right side. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Dobiashi. Dobiashi making his first at bat tonight. He has replaced Ryan McBroom in the lineup, who had a hit in his 2 trips. There's a fastball that just misses for a ball, and the count is 2-0. That last pitch sure didn't look like it was a great pitch, as it was up in the zone. There's a fastball that misses down, and it quickly goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Dobiashi now on the wrong side of 30, as we would say. Waits on the 3-0 offering from Cotton, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted well down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble. And this one is just hooked foul to the left of the foul pole. A long strike. He got the green light at 3-0, and he absolutely turned and obliterated that pitch, but wasn't able to keep it fair, as the ball ends up into the trees down the left field line. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and Dobiashi's going to draw himself a walk. So with 1 away, Dobiashi is now the runner at first, and that is going to bring up Suka Nodoro, it looks like. As we said, we've got changes all around here, as it was Ryoma Nishikawa who was in the lineup to begin. So as we look at it here, it's looks like it's Noboru. So Sukane Noboru now coming to pinch hit, as he is replacing Nishikawa in the ballgame. And so here comes the first offering from Jarrell Cotton, who is working from the stretch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. First time that Cotton has had to throw from the stretch, as the only run that he's allowed was a home run. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting Noboru, kind of a bigger fella. Stocky, maybe, I guess, is the bigger way I would, or the better way I would put it. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Dobiashi. Other scores from around the NPB, it's 2-2 between the Marines and the Lions. That's in the top of the 7th inning at the Zozo Marine. And there is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Noboru. It is in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Hanshin Tigers still have that 5-0 lead over the Occult Swallows. Once again, all the other games are going to be local time. They're going to be at 1800 hours, or 6 o'clock local time in Japan. 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific. And there is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Noboru is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to Kazuki Tanaka. Well, this is going to be Tanaka's first at bat of the evening, as he has come in to replace Matt Davison. Tanaka is officially Davison was officially 1 for 2 tonight. He had a home run and a walk. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. 5 for 13 in the exhibition season with no homers and 3 RBIs for Tanaka. He bats from the left side with an open stance against the right-handed throwing Cotton. Cotton fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner, Kobayashi. Our friend Carlos Bueno has jumped in here into the stream, and he asks, where are we watching this? As there's a fastball that is swung on and tapped foul. The count is 1-1. And so, Carlos, if you're asking, just stick around. We can give you some of that information, and you can go and hunt it down. If you're in the United States, they used to have it on DAZN. I don't know if DAZN is picking it up anymore, as it's 1-1 to Tanaka. There is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-1. If you are in North America, you can investigate the website LiveQQ. You're going to have to do some searching around over there, but we'll be able to pull up some feeds for you. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 3-1 on Tanaka, but those are the two best ways. You have to do a little bit of a Google search and click around a little bit. But all the games will be in Japanese, so to be able to do that, sometimes people come and listen in the English. They sync it to their feeds. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly back to Cotton. He fields it. He underhand flips it over to first, and that is going to retire Tanaka. And that is going to go down as a ground out, 1-3 for the third out of the inning. So the Carp get that run back. They have tied the game up on the home run by Tamara. It was 1 run in the inning, and there was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We are now through 6.5. It is the Carp 4 and the Buffaloes 4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call. The bottom of the 7th inning when we return, it is all knotted up at 4s. Hold tight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. As we said, there's going to be some wholesale changes coming up here. It is going to be Shuhei Fukuda, the 9-hole hitter, slated to come to bat. Then it'll be, in replacement of Ryo Oda, it'll be Yuichi Sano, and he will be in the top spot. And then Yuma Mune is now out of the game, and so batting in the 2 spot, and being his replacement, will be Nishino. And, of course, Nishino has come in, but he's now playing at second base. That's Masahiro Nishino. So we are going to be trying to keep up as best we can on these changes. So Masahiro Nishino will be batting third in the inning. So Fukuda, Sano, and Nishino. There also is a couple of changes defensively for the Carp, but as we said before, we're going to have to try to get those as we can for you. And it's the same right-hander in the ball game, Adua. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Fukuda leads it off tonight as he's 1 for 2. He had a single. He scored a run in the second, and he grounded the first back in the fourth. And he takes a fastball just off the outside corner. And the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander Adua rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly to second. That is fielded by the second baseman, who flips it over to first. And that is going to retire Fukuda on a ground out to 4-3 for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Sano. So nice play by Nishikawa there, ranging to his left. As the second baseman had to get it, he fielded it, got underneath his feet, and made a nice throw over to the first baseman for out number 1. And that brings Sano to the plate. Sano has come in. He's playing third base at this point. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Adua, and he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. Adua works at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back just in front of the warning track and making the grab is the Carp right fielder who has come on into the ball game, and that looks like it is Tamura who is now in right. Of course, Tamura was the one who hit the home run in the top of the 7th inning. So he makes the grab to retire Sano, and that will bring up the Masahiro Nishino, who has come into the ball game. So he is coming in to bat here against Adua. If I'm not mistaken, he has moved into he's playing at third base now, and there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. And it made the hitter Nishino skip a little bit of rope as he had to get out of the way. It's going to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nishino, if he was able to get on, it will be Sano who is waiting his turn on deck. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field, and it's going to get down over the head of the shortstop for a base hit. So Nishino is aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up Kodai Sano to the plate as he is replacing Kai Nakagawa. So a base hit here with 2 out for Nishino. Did a pretty good job of standing back, keeping his weight back, staying inside the baseball and inside outing the pitch the other way. So he is the runner at first with 2 gone, and Kodai Sano steps to the plate. Sano coming on as a defensive replacement. So he bats from the right side. He's 0 for 4 in the exhibition season, and the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, some program reminders. We are going to be back on the airwaves for the next 5 nights doing World Baseball Classic. So hopefully you guys can pop in and join us. We'll be back with the Japanese League a little later next week. And then, of course, we'll be all over it moving forward. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. They go to second for the fielder's choice. That is going to retire Nishino. That's going to go down. Fielder's choice, 5-4 for the 3rd out of the inning. That will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th inning. Well, they got no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. There's the Carp 4 and the Buffaloes 4. Stick around, everyone. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments after this. We appreciate those of you listening to our call of exhibition baseball of the NPB. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 8th inning, and the wind is picking up. It's blowing in from straightaway center field, as it is the tractors are out grooming the infield. It is an all-dirt infield at the stadium where they are playing in Osaka. We mentioned earlier, this is number 35 coming in to pitch. This is going to be the right-hander Higa. This is Mikitaka Higa on in relief. He pitched very well in the playoffs for the Buffaloes last year. He'll be the 4th pitcher used tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, in Japan by the Buffaloes. So Higa on in relief. Mikitaka Higa. Very, very effective right-hander, as we said last year in the playoffs, and he is slated to face Kazuno, Aizawa, and Nirasawa, but we'll see if there's any changes there for the Carp. As we go back and take a peek at the lineup, and the first pitch here delivered is a fastball swung on, is grounded over the right side. It's fielded by Cedeno. He flips it to Higa, covering, and on one pitch, the Buffaloes have retired Kazona. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1. Nice play there defensively by Cedeno, as he is able to make the play, and that will retire leadoff hitter Kazono, and that is going to bring up the pitcher Adawa, but I don't think we're going to see Adawa. One would have to think we're going to get ourselves a pinch hitter here because Adawa had gone his 2 innings. They chose not to use a designated hitter tonight in the exhibition game, did the Carp. So they do have a left-handed pinch hitter coming to the plate. This is number 57. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. 57 in our books is nowhere to be seen at this point. Oh, there it is. It's Yasuro Mochimaru. Then there is a fastball swung on, and it is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. And the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes to Mochimaru. As Higa rocks into the motion, and he kicks and fires. And it is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. I have to say, Higa's come into the game, and all he's done is thrown strikes. 4 pitches, all strikes. And that's what you want out of your relievers. You want to attack the hitters. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. And Higa rocks into the motion and delivers, and it's a breaking ball taken for a called 3rd strike. Oh, boy. The left-handed hitting. Mochimaru stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that one go by. And he is retired for out number 2 here in the 8th inning, and that's going to leave it up to, well, we've got it to Yuya Narasawa, and that's exactly who it is coming to bat, the second baseman. And he's suffering from Higa to Nirasawa as a fastball swung on, is lifted into shallow left field, moving over underneath it and making the grab. The left fielder Fukuda, and that is going to do it. Very quick work by Higa here in the 8th inning. That was, they go 1-2-3 to the Carp. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 7.5. It is the Carp 4 and the Buffaloes 4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Higa hardly had to break a sweat. See if he's going to be back out for another inning of work in just a few. Right back, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. Here's a Japanese Hall of Fame memory. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as the Hiroshima Carp are going to the bullpen again. This will be their 3rd pitcher used tonight, and we are going to see Tetsuya Matsumoto into the ball game. Tetsuya Matsumoto on in relief of Adua, who came on in relief of Dakota. So he will be pitcher number 3 used in this one as he's getting the tune-up tosses completed. 4-4 in the bottom of the 8th as the Carp have tied it back up. They took the lead in the first inning on a single by Shogo Akiyama, and he was brought around by an RBI single by Nishikawa back in the first. And then it was the Buffaloes who responded in their half of the first inning as they had a base hit by Yumamune, and he was brought around eventually by Tomoya Mori to score a run. And then the Buffaloes stampede got going in the second inning. They put 3 runs on the board by a bases clearing triple by Kai Nakagawa. There was a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1. It is a pinch hitter for Sugimoto, who is no longer in the ball game, and we'll have to get you that for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch is another pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count is 1-1. As we said, we're into this part of the ball game where the changes are coming fast and furious. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses for a ball, and the count is now 2-1. This is Naito. Naito at the plate. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the day for Sugimoto is finished. He's probably on his way to the golf course now. And here comes the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball that misses outside. Count now goes to 3-1. Originally, it was as part of the batting order that featured the big boppers being Sugimoto, Mori, and Gonzalez, but that has now changed as Wakatsuki waits on deck. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 3-2 to Naito, Wakatsuki, and then Oshiro. So that's how it's going to work. So Wakatsuki. Missed, and Naito is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Kenya Wakatsuki. Not mistaken, Wakatsuki is also a new catcher here for the Buffaloes. I believe, if my memory serves me correct, he was a Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle. So he is at the plate here. I think it is, unless they've got themselves another pinch hitter here. Nope, this is Kenya Wakatsuki. That's exactly who it is. So here we go. Here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Oshiro who waits his turn on deck, who is going to be hitting in the spot that Marwin Gonzalez once occupied. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2. One thing I don't know in the NPB is if they are playing extra innings in the exhibition season. Sometimes they don't always do that in Major League Baseball. They might play a 9th or a 10th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a split finger pitch missing down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matsumoto, the right-hander, gets his sign from his catcher. He works set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and missed. Wakatsuki is just overmatched by the heat there of Matsumoto, and that is going to be out number 2 here in the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that will leave it all up to Oshiro to come to bat here to try to find something to get going against Matsumoto. So this is Koji Oshiro. Oshiro steps to the plate, coming to bat for the first time tonight. Gonzalez was 0 for 3 as he left the ballgame. And here's the first pitch. It bounces up to the dish. The count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Oshiro is 1 for 9 in the exhibition season. He's batting 111. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 2015 draft, Koji Oshiro, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Matsumoto goes back to work. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Koji Oshiro. As we said, it's a bit of a brisk day in Osaka. The umpires have got the long sleeve shirts on. A lot of the players have sleeves underneath. There was a fastball swung on and is grounded through the 4-hole past the diving second baseman Nirasawa into right field. It's a 2-out single for Oshiro as he's aboard with a hit. And that is going to bring up Ishioka here to face the right-hander Matsumoto. So good piece of hitting. And was able to stay back on the ball was Oshiro. Kept his hands inside, was able to slap it past the diving second baseman. And now that brings Ishioka to the plate. Well, he is 1 for 1 today. He came on as a pinch hitter for Noguchi back in the 6th inning. Well, and we may have ourselves yet another pinch hitter, so we're going to have to check to see what this is. The first pitch delivered is a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. As we said, this is Ishioka, so he got his hit the last time up. He's 1 for 6 in the exhibition play. That was his first hit. He's kind of a tall, lanky-looking left-handed stick. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. As we mentioned before, we got to keep our eyes peeled on the wholesale changes. Excellent start tonight by Dai Yamashita. If you're just joining us, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third base line, drifting over. Watching it sail into the seats is Tanaka, and that's going to run the count now to 1-2. Dai Yamashita went 4 2/3 innings, and he struck out 10 Carp hitters tonight. It was absolutely impressive. So 10 of the 14 Carp hitters that he retired were via the strikeout. They took him out of the game after 82 pitches. So here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander holds set, and he fires a split-finger pitch that misses down. And that count is now 2-2, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Ishioka here, looking to keep the inning alive for the Buffaloes. The first 2 batters were retired via the strikeout by Matsumoto. He checks the runner over at first, and now he works set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. And Ishioka was overmatched as he goes down on strikes for out number 3, and that will do it here in the 8th inning. So no runs, no hits, no error. Sorry, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Wow, struggling through that line there a little bit. So we are now through 8 complete. It is a 4-4 ball game between the Carp and the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for checking in. We'll give you one of our Japanese Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be just taking a moment here to update ourselves, but it is a 4-4 ball game as we are going to the top of the 9th inning. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the closer for the Orix Buffaloes. It is going to be Yoshi Hirano coming into the ball game here in the top of the ninth inning, as he is going to be taking over. There is a couple of changes defensively, and as we mentioned before, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us as we'll have to catch back up for you on that. But Yoshi Hirano in the ball game to try to keep this one a 4-4 affair. This is going to be the fifth pitcher used by the Buffaloes tonight. So Hirano in the game, and he is going to be facing the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the Carp order now. And so the 9-hole hitter for the Carp is Sakakura, and he is 0 for 1 tonight, as he took that first pitch breaking ball down for ball 1. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the grab right up against the wall is the right fielder Ishioka, and that is going to retire the pinch hitter Sakakura. Came up in the last inning for the first out of the inning. He sent it to the deepest part of right field you could go, as the right fielder caught it right up against the wall, and he is retired for the first out of the inning. The wind has changed a little bit. It was like blowing in. Now it looks like it is blowing out more towards from the home plate toward left center field. So if you can elevate something here, it might be able to leave the yard. There was a first pitch breaking ball that is check swing on, but they said that he went around, did the hitter Tamura. Count is quickly 0-1. He was homered his last time up on the first pitch that he witnessed. He turned that one around by a pitch offered by Jarrell Cotton, and there's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander holds set, now he kicks and delivers to Hirano, and there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tamura. Tamura will be followed by Amori, who is into the ball game as well. They've pretty much changed everybody in their lineup with the exception of the second baseman, Nirasawa. There's a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly over on the first base side, and the count now remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. 1 gone here in the top of the ninth inning, and Tamura will be followed by a Murray. Carp are looking to try to get a run. Buffaloes are trying to keep them at bay. As we said, I'm not sure if they're going to go extras or not in this one. There's a split finger pitch that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, who said that Tamura didn't go, and that's going to even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 other games that are going on across the NPB are still in action. It is 6-0 now for the Tigers over the Swallows, and there is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, and the catcher, Wakatsuki, throws down to first base to retire Tamura, and that's going to go as a strikeout 2-3 in the books for out number 2. That is going to bring up Nora Amori. The other game that is going on, it's in the top of the 8th inning. That is at the Zozo Marine Stadium. It is the Chibalote Marines and the Saitama Cebu Lions all locked up at 2s. 2-2 in that affair. So the right-hander Hirano ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses outside to Amari, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander works sort of from a pseudo stretch position with nobody on, and he delivers a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. I say pseudo stretch because he doesn't actually really come to a stop. He kind of goes into a modified windup. And here he works and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes to Amari. 1, 2, 3 innings have not been common here in this one. It's only been a couple of times tonight that the Buffaloes have retired to Carp. Twice they did it conventionally, and actually a third time unconventionally, where they How do you pick a guy off to make it a 1-2-3 inning? And there's a fastball taken for called strike. The count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Amari. The right-hander Hirano gets ready to go back at it. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and we're not going to have a 1-2-3 inning here as Amari has gotten a board on a base on balls with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Shota Dobiashi to the plate. Well, for Dobiashi tonight, he came in as a replacement for Ryan McBroom. He walked in his only plate appearance. So Dobiashi coming up ready to face the veteran closer of the Buffaloes, Hirano. Dobiashi hits from the right side. He digs himself in. And we're ready to go back at it. Hirano holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch missing down. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. World Baseball Classic action tomorrow night on the channel. We'll be doing the United States and Venezuela. That goes off at 7 Eastern or 4 Pacific. And here comes the 1-0 offering as Hirano delivers a fastball that just misses inside. That looked like a really good pitch, but not good enough for the home plate umpire to go up with the right hand. So 2 balls and no strikes to Dobiashi. Maybe that was a veteran call for Dobiashi. I don't know, but certainly wasn't the home call Hirano wanted. So 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that also misses inside, and the count is now 3-0. So the Buffalo right-hander is losing a bit of command of his pitches here. He's fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes for the second time on back-to-back hitters to Shota Dobiashi. There's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 3-1. After the game's over, we normally do wrap-ups from around the NPB. I will do a very brief look at stuff. It is the exhibition season, so we're going to just take a look at the out-of-town scores at the end, and we'll call it a night. As there's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner, and Dobiashi has drawn a walk. It's back-to-back walks issued by Hirano here in the 9th inning. And that is slated to bring up for the Carp here. It looks like it is going to be the fellow that we were saying earlier on. It was known as the left ear. I think it was. No, it is Sukani Naboru, or large ear. That was the other one that we saw earlier. I forget who it was with the Carp that was referred to as that. That was kind of funny. But this is going to be Nabaru as he comes to the plate today. He is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 7th inning when he came into the ball game. He did that against the right-hander Cotton. And here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The Carp were down to their final out here in the 9th inning. They got runners at first and second on back-to-back 2-out walks. Hirano now going to deliver pitch number 20 of the inning. As he kicks and delivers, it's a split finger pitch that's taken for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is, and here comes the offering from the right-hander Hirano, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. It catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Well, I wouldn't be surprised here that he's going to get a steady diet of split-finger pitches. See if he's going to be able to keep up with it or if he's going to swing through it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is as the right-hander Hirano comes set. As he kicks and delivers, it is a split-finger pitch. It bounces up into Wakatsuki. Does a good job of keeping it in front. The count now is 2-2. We're in the top of the 9th inning. There's 2 gone, and it's all 2s around the board. The runners are at first and second. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the hitter Naboru, and it is 2 away here. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as Hirano holds at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It's a splitty, swung on, and grounded foul just by the on-deck circle on the third base side. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Again, we'll be back on toward the end of next week with some more Japanese baseball. We'll get through the Classic for 5 days. Then we'll start ramping up our Japanese stuff, getting ready for the season. There's a split finger pitch that bounces up to the plate. Another good stop by Wakatsuki, and the count is now 3-2. And then we'll be giving some regular streams. We'll mix in some Major League Baseball there once in a while as well with the season opening up. We're looking forward to being able to do a little bit of that stuff. Can't wait for it. Major League Baseball, back at it. We're getting ourselves underway. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And that is going to do it here as Nobura is gone on strikes for out number 3, and it'll come down to the bottom of the 9th inning coming up here for the Buffaloes. All for the Carp in their half of the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 8.5. It is the Buffaloes 4 and the Carp 4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 9th inning when we return. We'll see if they give us any extras tonight or not. If there's going to be bonus baseball or if they're just going to call it after the 9th inning. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is going to be Makoto Kimuna on the mound. He is going to be the 4th pitcher used by the Carp tonight. And so Kimuna is coming in. He is pitcher number 4. He is a right-hander who is making his 4th appearance here in the spring training. So he is taking over. He is going to be slated to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for the Orix Buffaloes. That means it's going to be Cedeno, who's coming to bat for the 2nd time tonight. That's Leonardo Cedeno. Then it'll be Watanabe, and then it'll be Sano. So Leonardo Cedeno, as we mentioned before, he is a 24-year-old. He's a player that is looking for a job here in the NPB. He's wearing the popular number 121 as he takes a fastball outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Appeared last year in AAA and AA with the Arizona Diamondback organization. He's a big fella. It's with an open stance on the right side, and there is a split finger pitch that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. I've not seen him play before, but he is solidly built. And he has got himself an opportunity to try to win himself a spot here with the Buffaloes. And here comes the pitch. And it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 1-2. But he posted some pretty good numbers, as we said, in AAA and in AA last year. Between Amarillo and Reno, he hit 32 homers and drove in 103 runs. So that's pretty good average, batted .308. And he swings through a fastball and misses, and that is going to retire Cedeno. He goes down on strikes for out number 1 here in the 9th inning, and that is going to bring up, well, it was going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda, but we do have a change there, as it looks like it is going to be Watanabe who is coming to bat, and it'll be Daiki Watanabe. He will be making his first appearance up to bat here in the ninth inning. So Daiki Watanabe is 1 for 3 in the exhibition season. And the first pitch is a fastball that he swings on and misses, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Watanabe. And then Sano will be the top of the order. See if they can keep things going here for the Buffaloes in the bottom of the ninth inning. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So right-hander against the right-hander. Watanabe waiting here on the offering from the Carp righty, and he swings through a fastball, and the count is now 1-2. So Kamuno has come in throwing gas, and he's been blowing away the hitters. They are overmatched, these Buffaloes, young Buffalo hitters. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball that just misses below the knees, and the count now goes to 2-2. Right-hander Kamuno really wanted that one. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Having difficulty reading the jerseys if the Carp players. Hope they don't wear these all season. Hope they're just in the spring training. There is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. They are with the white pants, but they have the red tops, but the numbers are all in red, and it's like a black outline around the numbers. Very difficult to pick up. Hard to read the names as well. It's red on red is not necessarily the best of colors. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander works again as he kicks, and now he fires. It is a fastball swung on and fouled right back into the catcher, and down goes the catcher. He's in a little bit of pain. It looks like it may have caught him just above the throwing hand. We're going to take another look at this. He fouled it away, and no, it was where it did catch him it is on the throwing arm side. It looked like it got him in the bicep. His hand was behind him. The trainers had come out to look at him, but he caught it just above the elbow in the bicep area. That's going to hurt. You don't see that all the time. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Watanabe. So right-hander against the right-hander is Kamuno ready to go again. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. And moving over underneath it is the first baseman, Dobiashi, and he makes the grab, and that is going to do it as he's retired for the second out of the inning. It broke Watanabe's bat. I think the bat went almost as far as the ball that was struck. The ball was hit to the first base side. The bat was sawed off and ended up over on the third base side. With 2 away, that brings up Sano to the plate. In this ball game here, he came in earlier this evening. Well, actually, we got another pinch hitter here. So we have a different pinch hitter here for the Buffaloes. This is number 62. He takes a first pitch fastball upstairs for ball 1. I have to quickly get the names and cycle through it here. And we're looking for number 62. This is going to be Takuma Nakagawa. There's a fastball that he checks his swing on, but he's taken it for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1. So Takuma Nakagawa, a catcher in the Buffaloes organization, on here to pinch hit for Sano. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and that too is overmatched the young right-handed hitter. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again, we'll finish this up. We'll do a quick recap of some of the scores from around the NPB, but we're not going to do an extended recap after this one. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. And so that is, Nakagawa has got himself aboard with a single. A 2-out single, and that will bring up Nishino to the plate. Nishino is hitting in the 2-hole spot as he has come on for Yumamune. So Nishino coming to bat, and Nakagawa leaving the game, and he's getting an applause, and he's getting some high fives, as we will have a pinch hitter come in for him, or a pinch runner in for him. Let's take a look and see who he has been replaced with. It's going to be another number 124. So we have to go into the training or the development team to be able to see who that is. Another popular jersey number, 121, 124. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. As Nishino watched that one rip past the outside or on the outside corner. So no balls and 1 strike. Nishino singled his last time up as he had replaced Mune, who was all over the base paths tonight. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. A lot of the Carp supporters are seated. As we said before, this game is in Osaka. It's at the Osaka City Shinkin Bank Stadium, not their regular place, outdoor stadium. And it is a sea of red in the stands, or at least from the angles that we have witnessed tonight. So here comes the 0-2 pitch, and it is a fastball that misses up and away to Nishino, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned before, we don't anticipate that this will go into the extra innings, but we will see what happens here. Usually Major League Baseball, they sometimes will play maybe a 10th inning, depending on what the managers agree to, depending on how much pitching they have or where they're at. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as that last pitch is missed down in the dirt. As I said, this Osaka City Shinkin Bank Stadium is kind of cool. All dirt infield, grass outfield. There's 4 light towers around the field. Here comes the 2-2 offering. That's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. Moving in on it and making the grab is the Carp right fielder, and that is going to do it. Is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. Well, I think we're going to see this one here. I don't know if they're going to call it a night, but it looks like that's what they're going to do. A 4-4 final between the Carp and the Buffaloes. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. And your final score here from the Osaka City Shinkin Bank Stadium is the Carp 4 and the Buffaloes 4. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for those who popped in here at the end of the night to listen in. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. We'll do just a quick recap before we call this one a night. The game got going with a leadoff single in the first inning by Shogo Akiyama. He was eventually brought home on an RBI single by Ryoma Nishikawa. That opened up the scoring as the Carp went up 1-0 in the first inning. In the bottom of the first inning, the Buffaloes got that one back. It was a 1-out single by Yumamune. Then after a walk to Yataro Sugimoto, it was Toyomori with an RBI single to even the score at 1-1. In the bottom of the second inning, the bases were loaded up as Noguchi had singled after Kobayashi struck out. Then Shuhei Fukuda singled after Oda struck out. And then it was Yumamune walking. And then Kai Nakagawa stepped up to the plate and he hit a bases clearing triple into the left center field gap. All the way to the wall, the ball went. And they cleared the bases as 3 runs scored, and they went up at that time 4-1. Well, that was where the offense stopped for the Buffaloes. In the 4th inning, the lead was cut in half as Matt Davidson hit a solo shot. and that cut the lead to 4-2. In the fifth inning, the Carp got another run back, but it all came with 2 out. They took the starter out of the ball game, was Yamashita. He had left. And then what ended up happening, it was with Yamashita out of the ball game, they brought in Honda. He walked the first batter, then he gave up a hit to Dobayashi, to Ryan McBroom, and then it was a base hit to Nishikawa, who knocked in the batter Noma, and that cut the lead now to 4-3. Well, in the seventh inning, the reliever Jarrell Cotton was in the ball game. He pitched a clean sixth inning, and on the first pitch, he offered up to Shinsuke Tamura. He deposited that one into the right field home run area. I say it because there's no stands out there. And that evened the game at 4-4, and that's where this one ended. So your final score was the Hiroshima Toyo Carp 4 and the Orix Buffaloes 4. There was no winning pitcher or losing pitcher in this one, as the game had ended in a tie. On the flip side of the coin, we have some scores from around the NPB, and we'll give you those ones here before we sign off for the night. In the top of the eighth inning at the Jinju Stadium, it is a beatdown. The Hanshin Tigers have an 8-0 lead over the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. That game is in the top of the eighth inning. The only other game underway right now in the top of the ninth inning at the Zozo Marine Stadium, it is a 2-2 ball game between the Chibalote Marines and the Saitama Cebu Lions. Later to come at 6 o'clock local time or Japan time, it is going to be the Chinichi Dragons and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, as well as the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are going to be hosting the Yokohama Dena Bay Stars. And those are your games for the evening. That is all we're going to bring to you tonight. Remember, we're going to be doing the World Baseball Classic games over the next 5 days, so hopefully you can pop in and join us. If you can't make it for that, we will be back on the airwaves again, doing some Japanese baseball later next week, but we can't wait for the opener of the season. We will be live for that, and that is going to be the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters in the brand new stadium in Hokkaido. That will be the showcase event. Thanks again, everybody, for listening in. Whether you listen live or on delay, we appreciate you being here. We will catch you guys again later. And once again, our friend Polar asked the question, who won? Well, it was a tie, 4-4. It was like kissing your sister. And it really doesn't count when it's a 4-4 ball game. That's it. Exhibition baseball. We'll see you next time.